So these are just a few examples of how to answer questions with graphs today. So you'll see some different graphs, and we'll have a little look at what to do. So this graph here is showing us the journey of a hot air balloon. So it tells us down at the bottom the time, and at each time of the journey it tells us how high the balloon was. So I can see at 5 minutes of the journey the balloon was 200 meters high. At between 10 and 15 it was up here at 500. So that's what it tells us. It says at what height above the ground was the balloon after 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look here, this is 10 minutes, and what I do is if we had it on paper I'd use a ruler. So I'm going to use this ruler now anyway. If you're doing it on your computers you could draw a line using your computer, but I'm going to use this one. So use my ruler, I'm going to draw a line, I'm doing it in red just so you can see it. So from 10 all the way up to the graph. I'm going to turn my ruler around and I'm going to draw my line here from where it was to the y-axis, so I can see that at 10 minutes the balloon was 400, and that gives me that answer, 400. And I know I'm accurate because I've checked it with the ruler. It says after how many minutes of the journey did the balloon begin to go down? So I've got to look right, it's climbing higher, it's getting higher and higher here. It's not doing anything at the moment. It's climbing higher again. It's not going higher or lower, so it's going down here. This is where it starts. So I'm going to get my ruler again and I'm going to draw down this line here so I can see when it started to go down. So going down this line here, I can see that it started to go down after 45 minutes. So that answers those two questions. This next graph is a bar chart. Now we're used to seeing bar charts like this, but for this one it's been turned on its side. The first thing I do with a bar chart before I even look at the question is just make sure I know what it says. So I'm going to look here, these are my names, this is the amount that they've raised in this fundraiser from collecting trees, from planting trees up here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to write, at the end of each bar I'm going to write the amount, because that's always going to help me with some part of the question. It just makes sure I understand the graph. So Louise made £3, Hassan made £5, David made £4, Sarah made £7 and Donna made £6. So now I've got my data, so I can use that then to answer questions. The question is, their target is £40 altogether. How much more do they need to reach the target? I've already done the hard work because I've read the graph, so all I've got to do is add them up and see how close I can get to 40. So I've got 7 and 3 makes 10, 4 and 6 make 10, so that's 20, and 5 is £25. So they've got 25, they've got to get to 40. If I can't do that in my head, I could do a nice little column subtraction here. 0 take away 5, I can't do it. I'm going to borrow from the 4, 10 take away 5 is 5, and 3 take away 2 is what? So my answer is £15. But with bar charts, whether they're like this or like this, one of the best techniques is just to write above each bar how much it is, and that helps you with all of the questions. Final type of bar chart we're looking at here is this one. So this one's a little bit like the first one, but it's a wigglier line, so we're not going to get it perfectly accurate. When you get things like this, we're going to have to do some estimating. So it is 500 children. They're doing a sponsored cycle. That is how many children are cycling, and this is the distance that they're cycling. So let's have a look. says, at what distance were exactly half of the children still cycling? So up here, I've seen that 500 children are taking part, so half of 500 is 250. I'll just make a note of that so I know if I'm checking my way around again. I'm going to use my ruler again. The children is here, so I'm going to go up to 200, 300, so in the middle is 250. I'll just use my ruler just to make sure I've got that line. And if we're on a computer again, you can just use a straight line tool just to draw your line across. So I'm going to pop that in there. Now I'm going to use my ruler again to go back to the axis down here. And then we can try and work out the answer. So I've got, here we go, 10 kilometres, 20 kilometres. I'll have to work out what it's going up in. Let's have a look. 10, 11, 12, 13, it's not in ones. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So it's going up in twos. We've just said that that is 16 kilometres. So half was 250. I've drawn the line to the graph. I've drawn the line down. So it was 16 here. I've got an estimate. Estimate how many children completed the kilometre cycle, sorry. So my 21 is here. I've got my graph, so it goes up to there on my graph. Again, I'm going to draw my line all the way across using my ruler. If I had two hands, that would be a little bit easier. So here it is. This is where it's drawn on my axis. So now I've got to do an estimate. So now that's 100, that's 200. I'm going to write in here 150. And I've got to do an estimate. It's in between 150 and 200. So I'm going to go for halfway would be 175. So I might go for 176. That's how I'm going to go. That's my estimate. So an estimate means it's got to be it's a good guess. So I know it's bigger than 175 and I know it's smaller than 200. So a good guess is one in the middle. So those are three different types of graph questions.